In this video, how can you manage depression, anxiety, and have a bit more of a healthy emotional state? Hey, my name is Daniel, and I want to share with you a couple of thoughts how to manage depression, anxiety. A good quality of life is to have a good quality of emotional state. So the state that you're in determines the quality of your life. You see, most of us, we've got bad habits. When I say bad habits, our thinking and our beliefs aren't necessarily the truth. But because we live there, that becomes our truth. So I want to give you a tool today to shift out of that and shift into something healthier. Mike Tyson has this great quote. He says, "Everyone's got a plan until you get hit in the face." And isn't that how life works? That you've got a plan, you're going on this idea, you've got a blueprint, printed out what your life should look like, and then the wheels come off and life doesn't work out like you've planned it. Life doesn't look like you would want it to look. Now you've got a choice here. You're either going to go to the habits that leads to that spiral of negativity, or the spiral of anxiety, or the spiral of depression, or you can have better habits that shifts you out of those bad habits. So what we do is, when the wheels come off, when the bad thing happens, or when we find we're inside depression or anxiety, we tend to think, what can I do now to get out of this? You start focusing on what happened for me to land in this situation, and you try to make strategies to get out of it. That doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? If you really struggle with depression and anxiety, you know, smack in the middle of an episode, you don't have the power, you don't have the will, you don't have the energy to do anything except maybe breathe. So what can you do? I want to suggest that all the work needs to happen before the episode. There's this great study that's been done about driving under the influence of alcohol. And they found that 90% of people that get behind the wheel drunk is people that has never made a decision not to drive while under the influence. The work needs to be done before you are placed in a situation where you don't have the control, the power, the energy, or the will to get out of it. When you smack in the episode, you can't get out of it. So the tool is called SOS. SOS stands for Stop, Observe, and Shift. And it simply works in this way. If you find yourself in a negative mindset, you find yourself in a depressed state, or you find yourself stressing or having heavy anxiety, stop where you're at, stop in that moment, clear everything, and observe what you're feeling. Identify what you're feeling. Don't think about how I'm going to get out of this. Don't think about how bad I am. Don't add to the problem. Don't add to the irrational thinking. Just think, what am I feeling now? Identify it, and then from there you shift out of it. How do we shift out of it? There's a couple of great tools I want to share with you. These are things that work. It's not necessarily going to work for everyone, but I want to share a couple of them. The first one is cold water exposure. If you feel down, jump into a cold pool, get into a cold shower. Because what happens is, it's cold. So you can't think about anything except that fact that it's cold. in that moment you are shifted from the situation that overcomes you, that overwhelms you, and for a split second your brain resets and you start thinking a bit clearer. The next one I would like to share is comedy. Maybe it's time that you have more comedy in your life. Remember, we don't have the ability to simply remove things, but we have the ability to replace things. You can't unthink things, but the moment you overshadow negativity with good or funny or humorous or life or light, that replaces the negativity. So we need to juggle it out, replace ugly depression, anxiety with comedy. Something light, something fun. Next one, exercise, movement. Start moving. The moment you start moving, not only your body starts releasing toxins, but your body also starts releasing endorphins and good hormones, and you start feeling better about yourself. You build self-confidence and you can face life. The next tool I would like to give you is to have a journal. The idea of a journal is simply to start writing. Write down what you're feeling. Write down about your day. This is great because a lot of us struggle to identify the actual emotion. We use a lot of secondary emotions, and it's easy to say I'm angry, but why am I angry? There's an emotion behind the anger. I'm frustrated. Yes, but why are you frustrated? What's the thing driving that emotion? There's another emotion. Identify that by writing down. And when you write these things down, you can start identifying the emotion. And when you identify the emotion, you can actually start working on them and letting things go. Keep on growing. Read, listen, write. Engage with people that will challenge your thinking. The worst thing you can do for your mental health is to go and binge Netflix for 4 or 5 hours. It's not only, but the other thing that happens is after that binge, you start feeling guilty. The guilt goes into shame, and you start spiraling into depression because you thought that if I can switch off for a while, 3-4 hours, and get out of that, I'll feel better. But it never works that way. You actually feel worse after that binge because the shame and the guilt starts going out of control. Get something that engages you. Get something that makes you think. Get something that challenges you. The last one I want to give you is to give something. Find something someone else needs and give it to them for free with no strings attached. You see, the moment we start helping others, something happens in us. Maybe it's a thing of worth because I can add something to someone else. Maybe it's a thing of gratitude, that seeing that I have something that somebody else might not have, but it lifts you up and it allows you to shift out of your situation, shift out of that thing you've created. If you found this helpful, like, comment, share, get this message out there. I want to create more content like this, helping people overcoming, helping people be better, helping people to become all they possibly could be. See you in the next video.